me make sure everything's okay here. Because this is a totally ridiculous gig I got to do this. I mean, I got to record here, record in here. It's a lot of work, but I'm doing it for you. The microphone's on the right? I don't know. It's weird. I thought it was on the left. I mean, I guess I'm mirrored because of the webcam. I thought the webcam wasn't going to work for this, but supposedly it did. I have to, because, like, I gotta, or should I do this? This or this? I think this might give me better audio. I don't even have live chat up, so I don't even know if anybody's talking or not. If I'm live, am I live? Check on my 12 Pro Max, which I have to use to record audio. So if you're in here and I'm not talking to you, I'm sorry. I'm in complication. Am I not live? Because, like, if I was live, it'd show up, right? I guess we'll check on here. What, did you see that? Oh, we're not doing good. What's our problem? Is it the internet? Oh, we got a lot of dropped frames. Now we're good. Why do we have so many dropped frames? Am I even live? Hold the phone here. I have no idea. I really need... Okay, now it shows I'm live. Check my phone again. That's wrong video. It's still not showing. I don't want to play it on the computer though, because look at how many drop frames we have. That's crazy. We're good over here. We're not... Okay. It's a lot of work just to figure out. What if I did this? Let me go here. Let me mute this. So I don't want... Because then this way it can show up in my... See, video looks fine. Why does it not show up on my phone, though? Alright, now it at least shows up in my watch history so I can pull it up. Okay. Alright, I'm good. I'm good. We're going to start here. See, now it shows. Well, maybe I should have just gone to my channel. Okay. I think we're good. Somebody's watching. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with my hecticness that we've been going through here. Alright. So, let me get this set up first. Alright. Come on. Come on. Face ID couldn't work because this thing was in the way, of course. Like, it's that much of an obstruction of my face. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Alright, let's get started. I'm recording. Wait a minute, let me check some here. That's way too loud. Probably too loud. I don't know. So, let's see. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're going to talk best phone plans for 2021. Now I'm going to give a quick shout out here to bestphoneplans.net. There's this guy on YouTube, Stetson Tuget, I guess is how you say his last name. I'll have him link in the description after the video. Should check out his videos. He made this website, and you can go through here and check out all the different phone plans, what he considers, the best picks, and you could just compare a lot from a lot of different carriers. I don't think, like, all the carriers are here, but at least the big three and some of the big MVNOs are here. Like, I couldn't imagine he was going to do this entire, however many hundred lines on Wikipedia. Anyway, so I've been watching his videos for a few days, so I don't know much about his videos, but what I do know is Mint Mobile, according to him, is his personal phone carrier, and it seems like he is very favorable of Mint Mobile and US Mobile. And I think for the right reasons too. I mean, Mint Mobile, let me go to their website. Mint Mobile is great. But the thing about Mint Mobile is it's better, and you might have to, I'm not sure, but it's better if you pay, I think you have to pay anyway, 3, 6, and 12-month increments. Don't quote me on that. I think you have to. But they do have great plans. Of course, you'll get cheaper the higher, if you bought 12 months versus 3 months. And they've updated these plans. These are all new. These datas, they were lower. Now they're higher. They give you more data for each plan. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think on this video, the unlimited one caps you at 480p video. I think the other ones can do 720p or full. I don't know. We can look on. Yeah, see, you can do 4K streaming with the lower plans, but the highest plan, the fully unlimited, caps you at 480p. Just because you have more data and they don't want you, burning through the newest season of whatever's popping on YouTube or Netflix. But anyway, I personally use Spectrum Mobile because I have Spectrum Internet, and my secondary phone I use AT&T Prepaid. Hopefully you'll be able to see that on my Galaxy S8 Plus. And Spectrum Mobile uses Verizon's network, and I don't have problems with Verizon. In fact, I've liked them way more than when I was on Metro by T-Mobile, and we'll get to that in a little while. But I think since I've been using AT&T Prepaid as my secondary phone, I think I'm starting to like AT&T more, and their plans are okay. If they included taxes and fees, I would highly recommend them. But since they don't, kind of makes it tougher sell. Now I know you've probably seen ads. I bet you, especially on Snapchat, because I swear, Snapchat has to be the website or the app, whatever, to show ads for Visible. Now, I don't think you should use Visible, and even on his website, it's in, down here, these are like the best plans. He's saying these are alright. I don't think, I don't think Visible is really as great as you think it is. And here's the problem with all of these. Because they're MVNOs, they're subsidiaries of the big three carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. So they're always going to have deprioritized data. So what that means is, so I'll give you an example, okay? T-Mobile right here on their website. All right, so they have, this is non-prepaid. This is like, you can get a contract, get one of these phones. Now you could bring your own phone. So the $60 plan right here has deprioritized data. Right here it says congestion data prioritization may lower speeds. So what that means is, if there's a bunch of people in your area using T-Mobile or some form of T-Mobile like Metro by T-Mobile, your data is going to be deprioritized versus if you have Magenta or Magenta Plus. Because basically they're saying these guys pay more, so we're going to give them full speed or higher speeds when there's a lot of people on the network, but deprioritize people like here on the Essentials plan or Metro by T-Mobile, they are going to get slower speeds than these two right here, Magenta and Magenta Plus. And here's the thing. I've used quite a few carriers. And I used T-Mobile quite a bit. And I've also used Sprint Network because I was quite a while a customer of Virgin Mobile before they quit here in the US. Then, for a brief period, I switched to T-Mobile Prepaid, and I switched back to Virgin Mobile. And then in 2018, I switched over to Metro PCS, what is now Metro by T-Mobile. And then last year, right around Thanksgiving, I switched over to Spectrum Mobile. And so basically I've used every network but AT&T, which right now I'm using AT&T Prepaid on my Galaxy SA as my secondary phone. Because I know if you watch my videos, I was using track phone on the AT&T network, but I decided I'm going to quit that number, quit using that as my secondary phone, and switch over to AT&T Prepaid. And I'll explain why here in a minute, but listen, here's T-Mobile map, alright? Please scroll down the page here. I'm not going to show you exactly or even slightly close to where I live. I'll show you the general area, alright? So it's pretty easy for me to get, if it ever loads, alright? It's pretty easy for me to get to Cincinnati and Dayton, alright? So this is T-Mobile's coverage around my area. Now let's go to AT&T, right? Alright, that's Indianapolis. Let's go over here. Alright, so first of all, T-Mobile boasts about how they're the leader in 5G. 5G. We'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so here's AT&T map. Here's T-Mobile map. Alright, so I will say that their 5G coverage does seem to be maybe slightly better than that of AT&T. But here's the thing, alright? Here's West Virginia. And it wouldn't maybe take me 2, possibly 3 hours to get to West Virginia. Alright? Depending which way I went. If I went down to Cincinnati and went this way, probably be quicker instead of going up to Columbus and then going. Anyway, Um, Now West Virginia is pretty, I would say, wooded area. All right. Um, and here's the thing: this all gray area right here is no coverage. Now, if I go to AT&T, all right, here's Columbus. Here's Morgantown. I think that was one. I don't know. All right, yeah, Morgantown. All right, see, Morgantown. We go over. Here's the state line, Pennsylvania, and you can see there's a lot of gray area right here. All right. So say I go to back to AT&T. There's basically no dead zone over here. Now I'm sure if I was to zoom in this area, you would see maybe a couple small spots, maybe a few miles wide, where there would be dead spots. You know, because it's not like they're going to go 50 miles deep in the woods and stick up a cell phone tower, you know? So, and really, T-Mobile, I don't think, in my personal experience, has that great of a network. Now, I've barely, and I mean barely, used AT&T Prepaid for a month, but I can tell you, AT&T network seems way better than that of T-Mobile's. And I'm not just saying on coverage, I'm saying on general speed, getting better prioritized fast data. Let's say just overall better. Now, Verizon and AT&T, I would say, are pretty neck and neck for coverage. All right, like they have some of the best coverage, hands down. But in my testing using speed test by Ookla or whatever you call that company, I think that AT&T has faster data overall, but I will say if you're in the right spot, T-Mobile can have really fast, and I mean fast, just LTE speeds. But I don't know. I would say if you were choosing between the big three, I'd go with AT&T because every time I live stream or do a podcast, it's like I get a bunch of indigestion. But anyway, shoot, now I forgot what I was saying. Well, yeah, I think AT&T has the best coverage because overall, I'd say they're not really great at everything, but they're pretty good at a lot of things. Speed, coverage, call quality, stuff like that. Excuse me. Take a sip of water. Now, something I noticed, I don't know if this is going to make a difference, is there a supposedly different map for AT&T Prepaid, whatever that means. And I don't really tell that much of a difference from AT&T Wireless. I can see a lot of difference in 5G, and it looks like down here around Virginia and West Virginia, there's a little bit maybe spottier coverage down there than there was on AT&T Wireless. But I mean, they're on the same network, so I couldn't imagine there'd be that much of a difference. Now, I have noticed, like, here in the general area that I'm in, I can tell that there is a lot more 4G LTE than 5G. But I would figure that, since you're on AT&T prepaid, you wouldn't be getting as much priority 5G as like AT&T wireless customers, because they're financing phones and giving AT&T ridiculous money for financing them and for the best plans. Speaking like, you get everything, so I could understand why they would have more 5G coverage, the more premium customers, than us more budget friendly customers, if that makes sense. I wonder if T-Mobile has, no, because there's not, I don't see an option for like a T-Mobile prepaid map. But I mean, you can just see, especially out west. All right, let's back it up a bit. Let's go over here out west. Now, of course, they're going to focus more on the east side of the country because there's just more people scattered in this area than out in these states, because these states, quite a bit of them don't even have 1 million people living there. So let's go right about here. All right, and then let's go back to AT&T. Let's zoom out and go. Let's go over here. All right, so here's the first thing I noticed when I was looking at this earlier. Nevada seemed to be where they just can't get coverage there. Now, I haven't really looked at Verizon because I can't recommend Verizon for a lot of things because they're just highway robbery. But you can see, let me go back. I want to talk about that in a minute, that one tab I was on. Let's go see, like, it's either too much or, let me go. See, like, this has such a finer scrolling. But, like, alright, see here, right on the west coast, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Cali, you can see there's quite a bit of gray area for T-Mobile. But if we go over here to AT&T, I mean, they have a lot more plastered on the map. And sorry about that. Since we're talking about phone plans, let's go wireless here. Let's talk about. Alright, so let me finish up T-Mobile here. Plans. Alright. Get Magenta. Don't get Magenta Plus. There's some kind of add-on that they automatically add on to Magenta Plus that you can add on to regular Magenta for $15, and it includes some extra perks. I'll link Stetson's video down there with his channel. He does a better job of describing it than me, because he compared all these plans. So I'll let him do that. If you're interested, you can go watch his video, and he can explain it to you better than I can. But Essentials, don't get it. Prepaid, I don't think he made a video on T-Mobile Prepaid. Is there T-Mobile Prepaid anymore? Because, come think of it, when I go to the store, I don't see T-Mobile in the prepaid section. According to Google, there is. Yeah. Huh. Well, they got Plus. Wonder what the difference Unlimited Plus is. Domestic mobile. Seems like they're all pretty much the same. So what's the difference? There's gotta be some difference. How much data? So they all get deprioritized data. Well, I guess I can't really recommend T-Mobile then. Because when you get deprioritized data, they can slow you down at any time, even if you haven't used your speeds of, like 35 gigs, and they slow you down to slower speeds. I'm sure it'd be cheaper if you had more lines. Alright, but if we're talking regular T-Mobile plans, non-prepaid, Magenta, just get it. It's worth it. Now, if we're talking AT&T, I have good news for you, because prepaid and regular wireless both have pretty good plans. So they do have a thing now where you can mix and match plans and get the discount of the plan you choose, whereas before every person in the family had to be on the same line, even if they didn't need all that data or whatever. So this is multi-line. Let's go one person, because that's what I'm going to do, because I'm one person. So if I was getting this, so unlimited elite, in my opinion, is the best, because you're getting 100 gigabytes of priority data. After that, they may slow you down and it'll turn into deprioritize. All plans include 5G. You don't have to pay extra for that, so that's a bonus. Most of us probably don't even live in an area where there's real 5G. We'll be talking about that in a podcast about fake 5G and real 5G, but we'll get to that later. 30 gigs of full speed hotspot on the maximum plan, unlimited elite, which if you use hotspot, like let's say you're on the go a lot, you need hotspot a lot, that could really be good, because 15 gigabytes on the unlimited extra is fine, but 30, it's just that extra cushion, because you can see if you go over 15 gigs, they slow it down to 128 kilobits per second. That's really slow. I mean, they do on every plan, but when you have the 30 gigs, you just have more, so you don't have to worry about that, basically. And all plans include unlimited talk, text, and data to Mexico and Canada on partner carriers. I think from Stetson's video, they are 2G. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but at least you have it. At least you don't have to pay ridiculous rates to use data in those two countries. The other two plans, unlimited extra, I think would be okay if you only wanted 50 gigabytes of priority data and you didn't need 30 gigabytes hotspot, but I would not get unlimited starter. And unlimited elite is the only way you can get HD streaming. Other two have standard definition, and you get HBO Max included, which is like, I think, a $15 thing separate. So if you're going to get this in HBO Max, you might as well just get unlimited elite. We'll go over prepaid real quick, and then we need to go into some other stuff. Some spend too long on these two carriers. We've been recording the actual podcast about 25 minutes now. because I'm doing audio on my iPhone 12 Pro Max with these. But I figured, hey, I'd do a little special thing for y'all and do live stream too. So that way you could just see what I'm doing. But shout out to the audio only listeners too. And I'll leave a link for them if they want to watch the video instead. Whatever floats your boat. Oh, here, prepaid. So I have this right here. I have the 35 gig because I'm just testing it right now. Then I might move up to a higher prepaid plan. But I'll probably only stay on AT&T prepaid because those other plans I showed you were great, but I already pay $45 a month for me and Megan each on Spectrum. You only get 20 gigs before they, slow you down, which is a little bit much, but like, hey, they were the only carrier to let me finance this 12 Pro Max, which it's alright. I'm starting to get tired of iPhone. Starting to kind of like using my Galaxy S8 Plus more, but that's not what this video is about. So let's go plans. I would assume, excuse me, I'm not sure, but probably prepaid would probably have deprioritized data. Of course, we can look here. Here's it. One mark. It doesn't say for these lower plans that you get prioritize or deprioritize. So maybe you get prioritized data. Cause like see here on the highest plan it says after 22 gigs AT&T may temporarily slow down data speeds, blah blah blah. So maybe these, cause the footnote says after high-speed data allowance is used, data speed slow down to 128 kilobits for the rest of the month, but I guess maybe you do get priority data with these three plans. This one isn't bad if you can pay the full $300 up front. And it includes HD video too. That ain't bad. I really doubt by needs cloud storage. And only the highest plan has 5G access. Now, of course, these lower plans, and I've had this on my Galaxy S8, they'll put that 5G crap on, if you know what that is. If not, I'll talk about my 5G videos, which will come out soon. Podcast episodes too, but what I'm surprised is these two lower plans have rollover data, first of all, and second of all, they also include mobile hotspot. And on the second highest plan, oops, I accidentally went back. It was an add-on. So on the highest plan, do you get it back, and then you're limited to 10 gigs. Here you pay for 15 gigs, and you could use the whole 15 gigs, I'd assume. I'll assume at full speeds, too, because it doesn't say slower speeds than your actual data. I would never buy tablet data. It is pricey. And like, what kind of tablet has 5G, They're interesting. I have not seen a tablet with 5G in it. Alright. So anyway, let's go back to Stetson's website. So, Another carrier he likes is Mint Mobile. I think Mint Mobile uses T-Mobile. I think. Let me check. Of course, they're just going to show coverage and they're not going to tell who is freaking giving them their data. Let's see. What carrier does we use? T-Mobile. I figured. Now, some people have had okay experience with T-Mobile. Personally, me, I haven't. Because, like, look, I mean, you know, it's like it's worse than T-Mobile. Like, there's barely any coverage out here. And there's probably quite, like, look, Nebraska, alright? I've been to Nebraska, alright? And it's a pretty boring state, I'm not gonna lie. But look, alright? Like, you can kind of see the lines here of the state. Wait, where's the coverage, you know? You got it in Omaha. You got it in Sioux City. Where's the rest? Because, like, I'm sorry, I gotta take a drink of water. I can't talk a lot without drinking water. Alright, listen. This right here, this highway right here, going through Nebraska, should be... What did I take when I went to California? This should be 70, I think. 80. Alright, 80. I was on 70 and 80. Alright, but this is I-80, alright? So I would have gone this way, I think. No, I went down to Colorado. I took 80 to 70. Well, look, here's my point. If I was on Mint Mobile when I went through Nebraska, like from here over here where my little hand is right here. Yeah, I went to North Platte or whatever you call it, so I was going on 80. But look. Alright. Well, I guess I kept going this way. Alright, we're getting confused here. Alright. Sidetrack, whatever. Alright, so look. Here's my hand. Alright, follow my hand. Follow my hand here on I-80, alright? That's where I went when I went to California, right? If I was on Mint Mobile, I just took, literally Nebraska was one of the longest states to go through. It was ridiculous. I went like a good 4-hour drive with no cell service. Not to mention, it is heavily snowing in Nebraska right now. So if I was out there right now and I am Mint Mobile, if I got stuck out there, I can't call nobody because there's no service, which means I have to do roaming. And if they don't have free roaming on T-Mobile or something, then I'm paying for roaming charges. So that's why I can't recommend a carrier like Mint or T-Mobile, because they just don't have that great coverage. Now, I'm not trying to hate on T-Mobile. They do have very fast speeds, but it's things like this that make it kind of hard to justify, because I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could happen to somebody who could be on Mint Mobile, and then they're in that problem. They're stranded in all this snow. How are they going to get out? Because they don't have service. So then they're left with roaming. Hopefully they get free roaming. If not, then they're getting charged for that. And if they can't roam, basically just a waste of $600, $700 paperweight that can't help you when you're buried in snow. I'm just saying that could happen, and that's why I can't recommend T-Mobile network, because they just don't have that great coverage. AT&T, Verizon have some of the best coverage. I'm not going to say which has better, because they're both pretty good, but, I mean, look, even here in Omaha, alright, I went to Omaha, and why do I have to do this? Why can't I just use my scroll? Alright, look, if you're in Omaha, you got, what is dark green? Go with the page. Dark green. 5G, alright, 5G. 5G. Alright. Where's Omaha? I lost it. Duck on. Alright, here's Omaha. Right where my hand is. You see that? So, I'm coming out of Omaha, and I'm going down 80, right? So, probably from here down to Lincoln is probably, I don't know, I'd say hour and a half drive. Alright. Depending on how it is in Omaha. Alright. So, you can see if you go down 80 here, you get a little bit of area right here where you just have regular 4G LTE, which is fine. Alright. Let's go in a little bit more. Zoom in a little bit more. Why is it not zooming in? It says as far as it can zoom in. Come on. Alright, so here's 80. Following 80. Right. So we're getting over here by Lincoln. We're going to go around Lincoln, because that's how 80 is. Because I remember we didn't hit Lincoln. We was going to California. Alright. So you're coming out of Lincoln. And Lincoln's kind of a bigger city. It's nothing like Omaha. Trust me, Omaha is ridiculous. Alright, so literally you're going on 80, right? Let's zoom in more. Alright. So here you are on 80. Alright. By the time you're coming out at the tail end of Lincoln, and you're about maybe 45 minutes out, you're already starting to hit dead spots, alright? Get another 30 minutes ahead, you're basically in pure white. I mean, look at that. And then you got all this drive. Look at this. You see any colors around here? York is kind of a fair-sized city in Nebraska. Ain't got no coverage there. Coming down. Look, you're by Grand Island. Grand Island's a pretty good city. Ain't got no coverage there. Ain't got no coverage on the river. Kearney, ain't got no coverage. I mean, you're just driving all this distance, and you ain't got no coverage. Whereas if you were on AT&T Verizon, you would. Now, don't get me wrong. They have some pretty compelling phone deals, especially this unlimited plan. And they all include 5G access, which is another plus. But, listen. I don't know if I can recommend Mint Mobile. Of course, I know some people that have Mint Mobile and they're perfectly happy with it. Me, I don't think I would. Because I've just had bad experience with T-Mobile over the years. And I don't see how they're getting better, personally for me, in my area. So, yeah. Visible, I don't think is the worst, but I don't think is the best. Now, don't get me wrong. This $40 plan that somewhere, I don't know where it went. Alright, I don't know. Alright, what happened to it? It's all they ever advertise. You ever seen this guy? I swear these ads are always on Snapchat. Let's see if here it tells you. Very confusing website, I'll tell you that much. I am so confused. Oh, here. Alright. Unlimited data and everything. For $40 a month. I'm pretty sure that's the only plan they have. For one person. But, here's a problem with MVNOs is they're going to have a slower time getting 5G. That's why you're seeing, there's a lot here in California, and there's actually a lot here in my state of Ohio. There's a lot on the East Coast, down here in North Carolina, Tennessee, could have been Texas, and in Arizona. A fair amount in Oklahoma, and Colorado, and Michigan, where you expect a lot of people to be, Nashville, Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland, New York City. Got stuff on here like the East Coast here, like Boston, Pittsburgh will be over here. You got what's in New Jersey is big. I don't know, but you get the point. Where there's a lot of people, there's gonna be 5G on the MVNOs. But where there's not a lot of people, you're just gonna have regular 4G LTE. They got a lot of white spots out here. I know Verizon's not like that. I know Verizon's got like the whole freaking country blanketed. I wonder what Hawaii and Alaska's like, so I haven't really looked at that. Oh, well, it's what I expect, Alaska is pretty hard to get coverage out there. Hawaii, small islands, so it's not that hard. Probably around Honolulu and stuff like that. But you can see my point. The big three carriers will give a lot of 5G out first, then MVNOs will. I might recommend Visible. We can go to Stetson's website and look at the plan. A little bit different breakdown of what it has. He has great breakdowns, by the way, of plans. Of course, you get deprioritized data. You can get full speed data. You got 5G access. Some hotspot data. You're on Verizon network because some MVNOs have different different carriers they use of the big three. Technically four, because some still use Sprint network. You're capped at 480p, can't stream HD, so that kind of sucks. You can do voice over LTE and Wi-Fi calling and visual voicemail, which is good. Group picture messaging, eSIM, which is pretty impressive for MVNOs. It's so hard to say that, I'm sorry. You can't finance devices, you can't add tablet or smartwatch, no international data. I have no idea what stateside international calling is. No domestic roaming, which really sucks, and no unlimited 2G data. Actually, since I brought up that one thing I ranted on, let's see if we can see if Mint... See, Mint doesn't have domestic roaming, which proves my point that I was talking about. If you're stuck out in Nebraska, you can't even roam here in the U.S. And a lot of MVNOs don't offer device financing, so that's another thing. They do have a lot, though, going for them. So if you're not going to be out where there's going to be dead zones, then fine. Mint Mobile, I'd say, is good. US Mobile. Let's talk US Mobile, because US Mobile is a little bit of an oddball, because talking over these 2 leaders down here. They offer unlimited data plans, and they offer prepaid, as in like pay for minutes and text and stuff. And you can get not that much for pretty cheap, alright? So let's go plans here. So you can basically build your own plan, or you can use their plans. Unlimited talk and text is already $10. That's cheap. No data. And you can add 1 gig of data for an extra $2. Now, of course, it's going to include sales tax and fees. T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile is basically the only carriers I know that have taxes and fees included. I think maybe Boost Mobile too. But 30 gigs, $30. I'd say that's pretty good. And of course, you can get unlimited everything for 40. And if you add more lines, you get cheaper per line. And you can build your own plan right here. You see, I can choose however many minutes I want. I can choose however many texts I'd like. I can choose my choice of data, up to 15 gigs. So, I really like US Mobile because they let you choose what you like. And Stetson puts 5th place for US Mobile 30, which has the 30 gigs. So you will use either Verizon or T-Mobile. I don't know if you can choose or if you just get one or the other. You're capped at 480p though. You do get 5G, full speed data. Now, of course, like with most, pretty much every MVNO, it is deprioritized. But you do get 3 gigabytes, which is, I'd say, pretty much good enough for most people. Sadly, you can't use unlimited 2G data. You can see it is turned off after you hit 30 gigs. There isn't Wi-Fi calling, which could be a problem for some people. Domestic roaming not available. They don't have eSIM compatibility. Of course, no device financing. But of course, you get the basics like voice over LTE, visual voicemail, group picture messaging, MMS, stuff like that. So I think it's pretty good. And then, you have to figure taxes and fees. Let's see what else. Let's do Boost. Because I know quite a bit of people that use Boost Mobile. Especially since they migrate a bunch of people that had Virgin Mobile. That's one that closed. Alright, let's go plans. Phone plans, yes. Doesn't say anything about taxes and fees being included, so I guess I was wrong. They have pretty interesting plans. Now, they do have unlimited talk and text with 1 gig of data for 10, so they're technically one step over US Mobile, and they are using Sprint network. Now, are they switching over to T-Mobile because of the merger? I'm not sure. For $5 more, you get a 2nd gig. I don't know if that's really worth it. I think the best, though, is really their 15 gigs for $35 a month. And you get mobile hotspot, which is pretty good. I assume you get full speed, too. I'm not sure. You get 2 lines for $80. That's not bad. 35 gigs. That's actually pretty good. I would recommend Boost Mobile, as well as US Mobile. I really would. Spectrum Mobile, you have to have Spectrum Internet, so that's kind of a tough sell. Let's see, what else? I can't speak on this because I don't know much about it because it's so new, but there is Kroger Wireless, because that's a thing now. These 2 plans pretty much suck. but the unlimited plan is slightly compelling. I just don't know, because pretty much every other carrier is beating them, and I have known nobody that has Kroger Wireless or that has even considered looking at the Kroger Wireless phones or plans. So that might be a tough sell. I can't speak on that. And realistically, I'm not going to go through every single carrier on this list. I'm just going to get what most people are going to use. Now, I will admit, I was using TracFone, and I recommended it. But since I've broadened my horizon, I'm not going to recommend TracFone anymore, because their plans just can't compete with the competition right now. Because $15 only gets you, where is it? $15 only gets you 500 minutes, 500 X, 500 megabytes of data. But Boost Mobile for $10 gets you unlimited and 1 gig of data. Now, you can choose on TracFone which of the big 3 carriers you want to use. They give you a SIM for each, and you can pick it up at the store for $1 if you go to the right store, the SIM kit. So that's a little bit of a compelling thing. You can get the $20 plan, which includes the gig, but you're getting the same plan for half on Boost. And on US Mobile, you're getting it for $12. So it's kind of hard to sell. And Net 10 is no better, but I don't really know anybody that's ever used Net 10. I don't even know how they stay in business, to be honest with you. That's really it, because the podcast itself been recording, and we're going on 54 minutes. Of course, there's a couple extra minutes because setting up a live stream was hellacious. But I hope this kind of, giving you a good idea of what I think is the best. What I think is best is T-Mobile's Magenta. Basically anything on US Mobile. They have, I think, the best price plans. Boost Mobile has some pretty good price plans too. Mainly just the $10 one, the $15 one, and the $35 one. And the 2 lines for $80 is pretty good. Or 3 lines for $90. I didn't even see that one. That one be pretty good too. And I assume you could get some free phones. See, you get free A21, Galaxy A21, and it's not a bad phone. You have to buy 6 months up front, but still, hey, free phone. And of course, Metro by T-Mobile, you get a free phone when you switch. I assume for the first time. I was a customer first, so I probably couldn't get it, but see, here's a Galaxy A21. It's an okay budget phone, I'll give it that. It's better than the A01 or the A11, in my opinion. A11, it might come close. Can't really recommend Mint Mobile unless you live in an area where this coverage is good and you're not planning on traveling to any dead zones because of my discussion I went through. Visible, it's a toss-up. They just don't have that great of perks, so I can't really recommend them. Spectrum Mobile, you need the Spectrum Internet for, so plus their plans ain't that great. Excuse me. Don't recommend track phone. So basically, what I recommend. Oh, an AT&T prepaid and AT&T wireless. So yeah, those what I recommend and what I don't recommend. There's probably a lot more we could get to, and we didn't get to Metro by T-Mobile, but I've had bad experience with T-Mobile, so I can't recommend. I did have Metro by T-Mobile for pretty much 2 years, and I had the see, I had for a while the highest plan, which is 60, and then I had the lower plan, which is 50. Taxes and fees are included, and with the highest plan, you do get Amazon Prime, which I couldn't get to work and hook up, and you get Google 100 gigs, but you get that with the 52, even more hotspot too. I don't know. T-Mobile might be good for you. Wasn't that great for me. The only thing I could really write home about was the speed at some times. Now, when the network is congested, of course they slow you down. So, yeah. I don't know why it popped up Google Assistant. I didn't ask for it. Anyway, that's pretty much the live stream. So, thanks for watching. And afterwards, I will be posting the audio on Apple Podcasts, and I will have my link after the video is done and the podcast is up. And then, yeah, if you liked it, let me know and I'll do it again. If not, fine, I'll just do audio. But, we'll be talking about different things all the time, so sometimes we might do video, and sometimes video might be kind of pointless. So, anyway, thanks for watching and listening, if you listen, and I'm going to stop here, right now. So,